The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And also brought to you by FSH Design. Let your imagination grow with FSH Design. Visit fshdesign.com today.
And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to another Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and I hope that everyone had a good long weekend, and that you partaken in the Pirates Week festivities that continues throughout this week in the various districts. I think it's appropriate for me to extend publicly, on behalf of the Red Bay and Prospect community, condolences to our Honourable Premier and his family and siblings, loss of his father yesterday evening. Without further ado, I would like to put the spotlight and hear more from Mr. Andre Gooden, owner of Charlito's Greenhouse, who will be our first guest on this show this morning. We hear more about and talk about carpentry and a bit of farming as well, right here in the Cayman Islands. Good morning, Mr. Gooden, and it's a pleasure to have you back on our show.
Morning, Sabrina. How you doing?
I'm great and excited to get an update on what's going on, because I know there's always a hammer in your hand when you're not doing that, creating some excellent carpentry pieces. You're definitely a child of the soil. So it's exciting to hear more from you this morning. Now, let's talk about when you first got involved with farming through Charlito's Greenhouse and also with carpentry. Was it by chance, or did it?
For farming or just gardening, I would say. It wasn't farming like on a big level. Maybe like 2011. I was just doing stuff around the yard, and it just that peaceful mentality you get from just planting and seeing, stuff grow, just allowed me to invest more time into it. And then, investing more time into the farming allowed me to invest time into the carpentry. I needed more space and stuff like that. So it was just organic. I would say it was definitely organic.
Now, what, if any, were any challenges that you faced that you had to overcome from the time you started this to where we are today?
So you definitely have to look at it eventually outside of just the hobby and the peaceful mentality you get from it. You have to look at it from a business level. And I think that has been like the most difficult part, because I'm not like heavily invested into it for financial purpose. It's more of a trying to elevate myself and help others elevate as well too. So that's been like the most difficult part, trying to get that message across,
right,
as opposed to just making everybody see me as another business person. So that has been like an up and down moment for me for the last 3 years now.
Now tell us how business has grown since your last visit here with us on the Business Buzz.
Definitely outside of the farming completely.
Yes.
I saw that transition coming when I was just getting a lot of those requests for stuff outside of the farming world in terms of carpentry. Got a lot of the like decks requests and patios and stuff. So I started to focus more on that, and I enjoyed doing that as well. So everything now became just doing stuff based on people's requests, and then just like also seeing how much I could do in the carpentry as well. So it's been like that complete transition into carpentry, and then just seeing how much more can be done with it.
Well, I'm still enjoying the chair.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now, what are the main items that folks can find at Charlito's Greenhouse?
From the carpentry, I like to do a lot of the small interior type of woodwork. So a lot of chairs, a lot of coffee tables, smaller cabinet type of things. And then really, anything to be honest, I just like to, everything is a first at some point. So I just have a lot of firsts, and then I just want to continue to have a lot more firsts. Just whatever I think I can or I want to try, I don't want an excuse. I just want to try it and see if I can do it.
Okay. Now, Charlito's Greenhouse is a small working island farm that models, promotes, and educates about sustainable food systems, environmental stewardship, community engagement, and development with access to real good food for everyone. He's located at number 235 Victory Avenue, right there in Prospect. For more information, how can persons reach you, Mr. Gooden?
More so now by email, strictly charlitosgreenhouse@gmail.com. It's a lot easier for me to organize my day and stuff with, just the email request. So definitely by email, and then from there we can organize, contact numbers and stuff.
Now, how is the cost of your carpentry work determined? Is it by quality? What the size?
Yeah, definitely. You pay for quality, but I try to be very, very reasonable. I just don't want to fall into the category of, this is what the job is, so this is what you have to pay. I kind of work with people a lot, depending on what people, their budget is as well. But I don't subtract quality based on the budget. So it's definitely, the bigger the project, the more it will cost. But from my end, I just try to stay reasonable.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the growing boxes and greenhouses that you construct. Explain that to our listening and viewing audience.
They were the initial projects that I started, because obviously I was still heavily involved in farming. So I wanted to just strictly provide the carpentry for the farming point of view. So the greenhouses were the largest part of the carpentry I could offer for farming. So it was just more, you had a lot of people who were really interested in growing, farming, but the structure didn't have the availability to, protect their crops and stuff. So, the greenhouse is like the ultimate protection. You can bypass a lot of the elements that cause the plants to, struggle. So the grow boxes were more for people with smaller spaces, maybe they have to deal with strata, stuff like that. So that was a little bit more convenient, but people with larger spaces would attempt, the bigger stuff like the greenhouses. So,
do you offer any consultations for persons who is interested in learning more about produce production?
Oh, for sure. That's a big part of the business outside of just like the carpentry and actually just growing plants is definitely working with the community. I do a lot of work with the schools. Outside of the schools, just general. Anyone who's interested, I just try to offer that hand. Not necessarily like a charge for everything, but definitely that part of it is very important, just offering that experience and that knowledge right back to the public.
Have you seen an interest sparked more with persons wanting to grow their own herbs and seasoning?
Oh yeah, for
since
sure.
You've been in the business?
For sure. And also with the carpentry too, I think initially everyone has the idea that farming and carpentry is dirty work. It's rough and it's rugged, but some parts of it is, but once you get involved with it and you start to see like overall what this whole field is about, I find a lot of younger people now actually like contacting me about want to do like job shadowing and stuff. So that's like best day you can have when you see younger
them
people
reaching
like,
out to you.
they just I work with them, and then some I don't work with just might see it and say, oh, I want to work with you, or can you teach me something? And you never deny that moment.
Now, if a school is interested in hear more about you, let's say by ways of this medium or even your social media pages, and they want to possibly arrange field trips, is that something you're willing to entertain?
Right now, I don't have the facility for like the farming part of the field trips and stuff, but definitely just like doing a workshop from the carpentry level. For sure, they can contact me by email, and whatever way we can organize it, whether I come to them or they come and see what I'm doing from that level. We're doing a bit of that right now too, so they'll see other avenues of how we can make that work as well.
Okay. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and FSH Design. As we put the spotlight and focus on our first guest this morning, Charlito's Greenhouse, speaking with Mr. Andre Gooden, owner of Charlito's Greenhouse. We'll take a first break. When we come back, we'll get a little bit from the business side to hear what it's like and how the importance of proper bookkeeping and customized work, and how you can get more information about getting your hands or having your patio decorated with some of the carpentry work by Charlito's Greenhouse. After these few messages.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the historical vignette series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
It is fair to say that the storm of 1932 caught the Cayman Islands off guard. Long assumed that the hurricane season finished in October, yet Grand Cayman was not hit until November 7, 1932 by the storm which would ravage the islands. Furthering captains would agree that it was coming here because it never had been known for a hurricane to travel on a course of east to north. After striking Grand Cayman with significant damage, including the sinking of the Balboa off of Georgetown, the storm passed directly over the sister islands, causing total havoc and catastrophic losses. Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
It's time to start planning for the best family event of the holiday season, the Cayman National Parade of Lights, happening in Camana Bay Saturday, December 7th. With $4,000 in cash prizes up for grabs, now is the time to get your boat signed up. $2,000 cash will be going to the lucky winners of the small and large boat categories. Check out the Cayman National Parade of Lights Facebook page to register your boat, or email info@hurleysmedia.ky for your chance at $2,000 cash. Cayman National Parade of Lights in the Camana Bay Harbor on Saturday, December 7th, 6 to 9 p.m.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz as we keep the spotlight on Charlito's Greenhouse. Telling me more in studios, owner of Charlito's Greenhouse, Mr. Andre Gooden. Now, this journey to farming for Mr. Gooden started several years ago when he became a farmer, which also led him to dabble a little into the field of carpentry, where he provided greenhouses, grow boxes, and constructions about all things farming. Mr. Gooden is dedicated to offering naturally harvested food products at Charlito's Greenhouse in support of healthy living, as well as his wooden creations. Now let's talk about the business side. And we want to just explore costs associated with what it takes to remain sustainable. You're entering approximately 4 years of doing your business, and I know you've had an upswing, you may have a lull, and that creative side of you never go away. But what keeps you motivated in order to keep, your business sustainable?
Very hard to really stay motivated, but I always, resort back to the reason why it was important to me in the first place. It was a healing process. So, you have to make money, from a business standpoint. But how I've always managed to, get back into that mentality of, the financial security is just finding the passion back for why it is why I want to do it. And I think people who have followed me or who've even supported me financially with, purchase and stuff has always paid more attention to the passion that I have for what I do. So even if like the stuff that I build mightn't be the greatest or to the highest level, people have always supported just because they understand, from why it is I'm doing what I'm doing. So to stay relevant, I've always never allowed myself to be secure within like
boxed in.
Yeah, like with a particular type of product. So I wouldn't just build a chair and stay with chairs forever. I would always open my mind to whatever else I can do. So even if people just support me for the passion, they'll also see my growth with me stepping out of the box as well too.
Definitely. Now, how can we get more young people interested in becoming the next generation of farmers or even carpenters?
There's definitely a stereotype of that type of work. So it's gritty, it's dirty, it's that's the image you see. But I think now with the advance in social media and just the technology, it allows us to see these successful farmers, these carpenters that they have on good clothes. They're not out necessarily in the field doing everything, and they make a good living off of it. So I think for young people, just being generally interested in it is one thing, and then also paying attention to what you see around you, even immediately around you, or if you're looking on the internet, just inquire about these type of things. And then it's also a responsibility for me too to expose that, show them from my level, like I'm a young person and it can work, if you put your mind to it. It's all just about willpower, not so much about skill from the beginning. You just have to have the will to take a chance in it.
Now, give our listeners and viewing audience a hint of the types of wooden creations you've made for customers. I know if they follow you on Facebook or Instagram, you have some excellent pieces there.
Yeah, I haven't been so up to date with the social media lately, but
because you're creating.
Yeah, definitely. But a wide variety. I've done benches for just households and for the public. I've done greenhouses. I've done coffee tables, patios. And I'm trying to remember everything now while I'm talking.
Those little coffee tables that you had with the nice, I think there was one you had that looks like water. With the epoxy, the resin work.
Yeah, that was a first. Definitely was a first, and just learning that process. So that was a very important piece too. That was me just completely
in a zone.
Yeah,
you were in a total different zone.
To be completely honest, that table was a mistake.
Really?
Yeah, that was just a mistake after mistake after mistake that just came together and looked like a final piece. And I had a friend that really made me feel like it was a masterpiece, because I was just like, this don't even look right, and he like, you don't even understand, this is a masterpiece.
It is.
So definitely friends encouraging you to allow you to
go to the next level.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. You say it takes a village to raise a child, and here we are in supporting, and that's why you are actually being featured on the Business Buzz, because this was a vision and a dream of the Department of Commerce and Investment back, and it's supported by the government, to have small businesses like yours be featured to continue to motivate and inspire. And here we are hearing your stories. It's not that you haven't been faced with challenges, but you continue to strive and definitely getting your work out there, and we're pleased to be a part of your journey. Now, what is that major thing that makes your carpentry work stand out? You think it's the energy that is driven with it, because you know exactly where it's coming from when you create these pieces?
Oh, it's definitely a personal experience. And I think that's for everyone who, whatever they do in their life, it's always you put your personal experience into it. And for me, my life hasn't been like traumatic or like, but you have things that you've gone through, and when you get older and then you find something that you're interested in, all that goes into it, all that passion and, curiosity for life and stuff, everything goes into it. Speaking from personal experience, that's how I've been able to create anything. A lot of the stuff I create has like, lines, and they go in all kind of directions, and it's kind of like how my life is. My life goes in all kind of directions.
That is life.
Yeah.
It's how you deal with it.
And I just put it right into the work, you know.
Right.
And so if you ask me about a particular piece, I always have like a personal experience with that piece of material kind of thing.
How long do certain projects take? Or because it is something that, you just go with the flow of things. There's no definitive timeline unless there's a specific piece that somebody asks you for.
Yeah, there's those definite pieces that you can say, this can take 2 days, this could take 5 days. You have the larger projects, but then sometimes those timelines change too. For some stuff that you're not so sure about all the bits and pieces of it, you have to give like a longer estimated time, but then you start to work on it, you realize, hey, I can probably finish this in 2 or 3 days, it'll be ready for you kind of thing.
Now, do you work with other local artists to add, special artwork to your wooden creations?
Oh, for
Do you collab?
Oh, for sure. I was hoping this was in the segment. I like to give shout-outs and praises to all the other artists. For sure, I always give praises to Cara Julian first, because that was one of the first collaborations I did. I saw her work before I even met her. Squareless Studios, Leisha over there, she is been doing her thing, and she's just an inspiration, just from what she does. Mark and Pamela and Sinat Stoked. We just spoke yesterday, I think it was. We just finished a piece that we were working on together. So definitely the public will see that shortly. Blair at Plant-Based Studios. There's just Sean at Culture Rum. There's a bunch of people that we might not have done a particular project together, but they've always been supportive. Right. Just looking at their creativity allows me to stay creative. And then eventually I just have in my mind, we have to do something together, or they always want to do something. So for sure, all the local artists that I haven't mentioned or I have mentioned, I always want to collaborate, because you'll always get a better product when you have your
Great
idea,
minds,
my idea, and then you put it
Combine for
together.
one.
You get something that you never would have got before,
right.
for sure.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we keep the spotlight and hear more about Charlito's Greenhouse with Mr. Andre Gooden, owner. And he's telling us more about his creations and his products that he creates. If you want to get more information, you can give him a call on 322-2328 or send him an email. That's charlitosgreenhouse@gmail.com. We'll be right back, and we'll hear more about advertising, how you can get more information in the future, get to know about the future outlook of more locally sourced products, taking Mr. Gooden's advice and what he thinks about that after these few messages.
Marketing. It is the key that no business can live without. From social media to Google Ads, websites to app development, or even graphic design to video commercials, FSH Design is here to help you and your business succeed. We focus on personalized digital marketing and offer advertising consultations for each of our clients. Don't waste time. We want to help you reach your marketing goals today. We work directly with you and your business to generate a strategic marketing plan that will develop current and creative results. Check out our website at fshdesign.com.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue policies when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 or Denise Brown at 814-7229. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael and Denise today at Cayman Insurance Center. Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz right here on Radio Cayman, and it's all about Charlito's Greenhouse with Mr. Andre Gooden, who's the owner. Now, how can people keep up to date on Charlito's Greenhouse and your carpentry work, Andre?
I've been doing very poorly on social media lately, but I'm still active there. But yeah, they can check my Instagram page, Charlie Does Greenhouse, Facebook at Charlie Does Greenhouse, and then I like to, hopefully, the products I build, I like the people to speak on it and advertise it that way. So hopefully the word gets out that way as well. But they can contact me directly and they can see some stuff that maybe I haven't posted in a while, kind of thing too.
Okay. Now, what do you hope for the Cayman Islands in growing more of what we eat? Where would you like to see this go?
I think everyone knows of the importance of it. I just don't think it's being forced. Well, I shouldn't say forced, but I don't think it's being pushed as it should be. I think sometimes we kind of just wait till it becomes a problem or a bigger problem to act on it. And I think the availability to do it is at hand. When I started it, it was the same reason I started, and that was 3 years ago. So it's still just as important. So I think we just need to emphasize more on how we can make it easily accessible for people to get involved. And that's what I try to do with my business, is just show people the ins and outs of that part of it, how easy it is for you to just do something on a smaller scale, and then how you can grow from it.
Now, Mr. Gooden, I'd like to give you an opportunity to recap what you would like to stick home with our listening and viewing audience this morning. What would you like to reinforce?
Business and making money is always good, but most of the time that's a goal you set for yourself. I think anyone who is in business or anyone who is, just alive should always strive to help the person next to them, elevate the person next to them. So my business will always stand for that. Is I will try to sustain myself financially, yes, but the most important thing will always be to help the person next to me elevate and just make sure that whatever I do doesn't tear the next person down or allows the next person not to succeed. It'll always be to elevate.
That's right. We've been speaking with Mr. Gooden. That's Mr. Andre Gooden, owner of Charlito's Greenhouse, telling us more about farming in the Cayman Islands and talking a little bit about carpentry and the construction of greenhouse, plant boxes, even patio furniture. Charlito's Greenhouse is located at 235 Victory Avenue. For more information, he can be reached on 322-2328, or you can send him an email at charlitosgreenhouse@gmail.com, and you can see his works on his website. That's charlitosgreenhouse.com, or Instagram, or even Facebook page. I want to wish you continued success and all the best to you.
Thank you very much, man.
We will be taking a break now for a time check, and then we'll go for the 8 o'clock news as we continue with the Business Buzz. We'll be right back after this news and weather update. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Sabrina. And studio time now by Price Right is 8 o'clock.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
It's time now for Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news. I'm Dion Anglin. Representatives of the Crown Dependents and overseas territories have laid wreaths for the first time at the National Service of Remembrance at the Cenotaph on Sunday. Radio Cayman's Carsley Fuller has more.
This year, a representative from each of the 3 Crown dependencies and representatives from the inhabited overseas territories, including Cayman, laid their own wreaths in remembrance of their many contributions in both world wars and other conflicts. The Crown dependencies and OTs have previously been represented by the reefs laid by Her Majesty the Queen and the Foreign Secretary, respectively. The change comes at an especially poignant time as this year marks the 100th anniversary of Remembrance Sunday, and has also seen the addition of other new wreaths, including from Nepal to honor the Gurkhas, and by the Foreign Secretary and the Home Secretary, who laid wreaths on behalf of the intelligence agencies. The three Crown dependencies were the Bailiwick of Guernsey, the Bailiwick of Jersey, and the Isle of Man. The inhabited overseas territories represented were Anguilla, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Falkland Islands, Gibraltar, Montserrat, Pitcairn, St. Helena, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Karsley Fuller.
In other local news, government is hosting a public meeting this evening to discuss aspects of the cruise berthing and enhanced port project. Experts of preferred developer Verdant Isle Port Partners will join government representatives as they present the benefits of the project and answer questions and concerns surrounding the initiative. Today's meeting is at 7 p.m. at the Mary Miller Hall. The project is the subject of a people's-initiated referendum scheduled to take place on December 19th. In regional news, Speaker of the House and Premier of the British Virgin Islands both pay tribute to their former leader, Ralph T. O'Neill. Carib Update's Wendy Chateau has the details.
Head of the British Virgin Islands House of Assembly, Julian Wilcock, has paid glowing tribute to the territory's former leader, Ralph T. O'Neill, who passed away at 2 p.m. at his home in Tortola on Monday.
His leadership, tireless advocacy, and commitment to country will be sorely missed. In the coming days, I will be meeting with his family as we prepare for an official funeral.
O'Neill was one of the towering figures in BVI political history and considered a mentor to current Premier Andrew Foy, who late Monday called him a legend. Premier Foy also called him a good and faithful servant of his people. Wilcock joined in the tribute, hailing his leadership.
Honorable O'Neill dedicated his life to the service of others and was a strong and principled member of government for 39 years plus. Above all, it was his warmth, personal qualities that brought special luster to his years in public and political life.
The Speaker of the House of Assembly promised details for tributes and a funeral service in the coming days, after consultations with his family.
And with a look at news from around the world, here's the BBC's Jerry Smith.
The Israeli leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, has warned there could be a protracted flare-up of tension with militants in Gaza following Israel's killing of a senior Islamic Jihad commander. Bahar Abu al-Atta died along with his wife in a strike on his home. Israel says he was responsible for hundreds of attacks on its territory. A suspected former Islamic State fighter has spent the night in the open in no man's land between Greece and Turkey. The man was expelled from Turkey on Monday, but border guards at what Greece calls the Evros crossing refused to let him in. Google has signed a deal with a major healthcare provider, giving it access to the medical data of millions of Americans. The Wall Street Journal says the internet giant's deal with Ascension would involve data such as lab results and hospital records. A plane transporting Bolivia's former president Evo Morales is on its way to Mexico, where he's been granted asylum. Mr. Morales stepped down on Sunday after losing the support of the army following weeks of unrest over a disputed election. There have been battles between police and students at a university in Hong Kong in another day of protests in the territory. Smoke could be seen rising at the Chinese university, and tear gas was fired on the sports field. The European Union's top court has ruled that produce from Israeli settlements must say that it comes from what's internationally regarded as occupied territory. The ruling settles a complaint against the Psagot vineyard in the occupied West Bank.
That'll do it for Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news. I'm Dion Anglin.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Logic presents The Change Project, a campaign that highlights the reality of cyberbullying and the mental health impact it has on teens, parents, teachers, and families. Few people speak up when they witness cyberbullying, but we can change that together. We can strive to make a difference in our community by promoting responsible internet and social media use in the Cayman Islands and beyond. Will you pledge to make a safer, friendlier world online? Visit thechangeprojectcayman.com and take the pledge today. Proudly presented and supported by Logic.
This is our new chicken cheese pop. Popcorn chicken meets fried cheese bites, breaded with the 11 herbs and spices of our secret recipe. The collision of flavors that triggers your true cravings. Escape through indulgence with a new chicken cheese pop from KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Available for a limited time at KFC Shedden Road and KFC Baytown Plaza. Dine in or drive through.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Super Stitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special now curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Super Stitch. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 92%. The barometric pressure 29.89 inches and rising. The winds are calm. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Residual moisture associated with a dissipated stationary front over the northwest Caribbean, some of which may spread across the Cayman area during the next 24 hours. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving west. Now the forecast for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with a 40% chance of showers. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s today and will fall to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 9:40, low tide this afternoon at 3:36, and a high tide again tonight at 8:40. The sun will set this evening at 5:46 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:32. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning.
Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Super Stitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Super Stitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special now curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Super Stitch. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
Brit K, where people come first.
Support our port, support our tourism.
The cruise berthing facility will be paid for using cruise passengers' fees and not by funding from the government. Passenger fees currently paid to the Port Authority and Environmental Protection Fund will remain unchanged. This is a win for Cayman. Support our port, support our tourism.
Looking forward, looking bright. Support our port, support our tourism.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. Traffic is busy bumper to bumper on the Linford Pearson Highway. And also coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, traffic is busy. Steady traffic on some sections, Cool Road, other sections, busy traffic. And looking towards Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing moderately. Remember, roads are wet in the West Bay area, so please drive with extra care. And traffic is steady but flowing, coming from the West Bay four-way stop. And on Edward Street and Shedden Road, things are not looking too bad as traffic flowing nicely. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. And on North Sound Road, traffic is moving along moderate. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning and buckle up.
Trying to knock off a few pounds? Come into Subway and try one of our mouth-watering salads. Take your favorite meats and veggies from Subway and turn them into a delicious salad topped with your favorite dressing. If you're not feeling creative, no worries. Try one of our salads from the menu, like the double chicken chop salad. It's sure to please every time. Stop into any of our 7 locations and grab one today. Now with 3 locations open 24 hours. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Good morning as we continue with the second segment of Radio Cayman's Business Buzz right here on Radio Cayman. We will put the spotlight and hear about Ocean Med. Our guests in studio to tell us more are Ms. Shala Powery and Managing Director, and Ms. Elise Burt, Women's Health Care Coordinator of Ocean Meds, as we find out more about this facility and services. Ladies, it's a pleasure to have you on our show, and welcome.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Well, I know people are like, Ocean Med, what's that? Where is it? You know what? It's because it's brand new, and yes. I will not take the wind out of their sail. I will allow them to state exactly how new this business is.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Ocean Med is like you say, is a brand new facility. In fact, today is our official first day. So we do welcome anyone, who has listened to this morning to contact us if you have any needs. But just to talk a little bit about Ocean Med, we are a all women's care facility. It's the only one in the Cayman Islands. And we actually focus on women's health. Mm-hmm. That's being said, we have 2 different parts of it. One is a diagnostic imaging section, and the other is in-house OBGYN, which is gynecology and obstetrics. We have 2 full-time physicians, and one is female. And we also have a full-time breast radiologist on site as well.
Excellent. And, women need to take more concern into their health, and especially when it comes to annual mammogram testings.
Yes, absolutely.
It's something you don't really think of unless you feel a little weird or see an abnormality.
unless your doctor tells you.
Exactly. And even then you're in denial, to be honest.
Yes.
So how important is it for Ocean Med to design services with patients in mind?
Well, the whole concept of Ocean Med started a few years ago, actually. Back in 2015 is when we started to spearhead it. And it came from a lot of personal experiences and experiences from family and friends. And again, you know, when a group of girls get together, we start talking and it's like, oh, well, I wish we had this, I wish we had that. And it started being, well, what can we do? What can we offer? And by going through that, and I said, you know what, personal experiences, we're going to design something that's like very, very special, something that is really needed. With that, it's the care, the continuation of care, the diagnostic side of it, and just someone who will listen.
Right.
Because that's what I personally found was you didn't have the take your time to listen to your patient, and that's what we wanted to bring in. We wanted to bring in that care, the whole atmosphere on relaxation and taking those nerves away and taking the anxieties away when you have to go and get a check, because that again is what happens, why women don't want to go in, because they fear, or it's just, no, I don't want to go and get squeezed today, you know. So if we put an environment that is welcoming and warming, we will have that more of a receptor to have people come in to see you.
The clinic itself is beautiful. It's designed, it almost looks like a spa inside.
Nice.
We have sensory suites, so all of the rooms have aromatherapy and visuals, because we're really trying to take the clinical aspect out of it and really just take those anxieties away and make people feel safe and comfortable.
Now, as new as you are, tell us where you're located and hours of operation.
Okay, so we are located in Bayshore Mall. We're on the second floor, so we oversee the beautiful, beautiful harbor that we have. You know, on a beautiful day, you'll have those blues coming through. That's why we named it Ocean Med, so you can actually sit down and not just look out, but like Elise says, we actually bring the inside out when you come and see our facility. It's something absolutely beautiful. So it's second floor, Bayshore Mall. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday. Monday to Friday is 8 till 5. And on the weekends, we do from 8 till 1.
Okay. Now let's talk about the state-of-art equipment available at your facility, such as a 4D ultrasound. And it's a ABUS.
Yes.
ABUS 3D automated breast ultrasound. And you got a sonograph. And there's also a biopsy system.
Yes.
Tell us about all of this stuff.
Yeah, the different technologies we have are amazing. As you mentioned, we have the 4D ultrasound for women who are pregnant. So other physicians on island, if they are obese, can also just refer to us if they want to come for the 4D ultrasound. The ABUS is an automated breast ultrasound system. So it is kind of like a complementary screening with mammogram. So if a woman has very dense breasts, sometimes it's difficult to see things that come up on a mammogram. So it can be used as a secondary screening to get a little bit more information. The great thing about it is there's no ionizing radiation, so it's good for women who would be under 40 as well. The Pristina is the 3D mammography machine, which is also an incredible new technology. We also have a patient-controlled compression device so that when a woman's having her mammogram done, she actually gets to control the compression herself. And then the radiographer will be there to make sure everything is going well. Good. But that kind of helps decrease some of the anxieties as well.
So it makes you feel like you have total control.
Exactly.
It's amazing what that does with the mind, you know.
Yes.
And then we do have the Affirm biopsy system. It's the only prone table in the Cayman Islands, so it means you can lay down while you're having the biopsy done. And that eliminates the view of the needle. So instead of sitting up and seeing the biopsy taking place, you're not actually able to see anything. So again, just really reducing these anxieties, making it a lot more comfortable and quick and easy for the patient.
Now, how does it go for someone who may just want to do a part of their wellness, get a mammogram done? Is it referral based only, or can you just go in and come into your facility and get this done?
For mammograms, it is a referral. So anyone who has either their own doctor or they can always come see our OBGYNs can give them a referral for their mammogram. Any other services such as obstetrics or gynecology, they can make appointments themselves. But for imaging, except for the 4D ultrasound, because that's an elective ultrasound, you could get a referral from your doctor or see our doctors. And that way we can do pre-certifications and just make the whole process a lot easier for the patients. Yeah.
Now, it's one thing right there where you're strategically located. You can see this. I know today's just your first day officially, but can you see this morphing into something else to cater along those pedestrians and on Harbor Drive in the future?
We are trying to stay away from just the general practitioners part. We would need them to do what they're good at, and then we will do what we're good at.
Fair enough.
So we work in partnership with your primary care physician. We have the beautiful thing about Ocean Med is that you go and see your primary care physician. They refer you to us. We take care of you and we hand you back. Mm-hmm. So it's you have the best of care in both worlds per se. But as for just walking around Georgetown, if there's someone that comes off the cruise ship, we're not into that. However, if you do need specific care from a gynecologist an obstetric standpoint, yes, you can just walk in and make your appointment and be seen.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we hear more about a new facility. It's open today called Ocean Med. It is the one of Cayman Islands' only women's health care facility, providing access to personalized care with advanced screening and diagnostics. Ocean Med offers a wide range of radiology-based medical screening and diagnostic tests. They dedicate themselves in providing the highest standards of care at a competitive low cost, so they can serve the entire community. Now, again, they're located in Bayshore Mall. That's right out there. You know it is Kirk Freeport on the second floor. And if you want more information, you can feel free to give them a call, 946-2326. Now, going forward, do you foresee yourself expanding your knowledge and pairing up with other facilities, or even going medical-wise with aspiring students who may have an interest in radiology?
Well, we would love to be able to accept those students who would do internships to sit with us, and they would get a feel whether they want to actually go into women's health. Elise has a background in public health, so to sit with her or go through, just bearing in mind patient confidentiality. Yes. However, just being able to experience certain things we would push those young minds to go further and give them that choice if they want to expand or not.
Now let's talk a little bit about partnership with other organizations and medical facilities and the importance of all of that.
Yeah, we're partnering with the Breast Cancer Foundation as well. We do sponsor them for quite a lot of their events, and we'll work really closely with them because we do have the biopsy system and a lot of these great screening modalities. If a woman is faced with breast cancer or the potential of having breast cancer and is going through the screening process, we'll work really closely with them because they provide a lot of amazing supports as well. We also partnered and met with a lot of other organizations on island just to make sure there's always a continuity of care. So if a patient needs to go elsewhere for anything, even if it's not medically related, we can kind of help them through that process and help them navigate the system.
Excellent. Now, how will you keep the community informed and empowered pertaining to educational workshops and lunch and learn sessions?
Yeah.
The environment sounds very inviting for something like that.
We have a beautiful patient lounge that we want to utilize. So it's in the back part. It's the kind of women's only section. And as Shala mentioned, my background in public health, I have a passion for continuing education and the knowledge translation to patients. So we'd love to do some fun activities as well, mindfulness, prenatal yoga, kind of taking a holistic approach to health and having, women come in and have little lunch and learns. And then even for the doctors as well, hold CMEs and have them come in to teach them about the different things that we have in our clinic that, because they're not available elsewhere, a lot of people don't really know about them yet. Mm-hmm. So there will be a good educational aspect to what we're doing.
Now, I know it's Cayman's only women's healthcare facility. With the technology that you bring, understanding that male...
Because of our technology, we would never want to leave anyone out. And it is a female's facility. So what we will do is actually plan to take care of that man very separate and special, because you've got to understand that they're going through their anxieties and their embarrassments as well, and their uncertainties. So what we would do is actually we would take the referral but organize something that is after hours so that they can have their privacy as well.
Okay. I have to cover it all because we do realize that.
Yes.
Now, how will Ocean Med continue in making waves in women's healthcare?
All right.
Well, the idea behind Making Waves Women Healthcare is we're really just trying to push the boundaries and be different, because anybody can go to the hospital and get their mammogram done, but to be able to be in a safe place surrounded by a supportive staff that, will be with you every step of the way. And then just the advanced technology that we have, our physicians are wonderful. So we're always going to want to just be learning if there's new research coming out or new technologies and information. We're just always want to be on that cutting edge of it.
How can persons get more information on Ocean Med and their various services?
They can give us a call at 946-2326, or they can visit our website, oceanmed.ky. We also have 2 different emails. There's info@oceanmed.ky if you just have any general questions or queries. And then if you want to book an appointment, there's appointments@oceanmed.ky.
Okay. What would you like to leave with their listening and viewing audience this morning? In a wrap up.
Again, so just wrapping it up, again, thank you so much for tuning in this morning to hear more about our services, and we really look forward to serving the women in our community and giving them this absolute wonderful tool that we have. And that's
the first day into the office, officially opening of Ocean Med. Want to wish you success, and I'm quite sure you'll be back on to give us an update on one's progress and how it's going and how it's been embraced as well.
Yeah, we would love to.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ocean Med is the only healthcare facility in the Cayman Islands to focus exclusively on women's health. Their dedicated team of highly trained and experienced medical professionals provide the highest quality of care using state-of-the-art equipment, techniques, and technology in the environment designed to maximize your comfort. For more information, visit their website, www.oceanmed.ky, or you can give them a call, 946-2326. Better yet, why not pop in? Today is day one, and to see exactly how they've created this space just for you. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more when we come back.
Cayman Medical Supplies, now providing Cayman Brac with medical supplies. Call 949-6211. And Cayman Medical Supplies will arrange to ship from wheelchairs and walkers to all kinds of medical supplies. Your order will be shipped to you either by Cayman Airways or Thompson Shipping for one agreed upon price. Telephone 949-6211. Cayman Medical Supplies, located at number 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, providing quality pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and consumer products to healthcare providers, retailers, and ultimately the patients at a reasonable rate in a friendly, caring, and timely manner.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue policies when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 or Denise Brown at 814-7229. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael and Denise today at Cayman Insurance Center.
Radio Cayman 3 to 6 mix on the weekdays. Brought to you by
Cayman Insurance Center, serving the community for 45 years. Don't take chances with your family's future. Call Denise Brown at 814-7229 or Michael Webster at 925-5433.
Every day.
Every day.
All the time.
All the time.
Also brought to you by Merengue Town.
It's time to feel the rhythm, time to feel the vibe. It's time for Moringa Town.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Cayman's Business Buzz. Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. In this segment, will be speaking with Miss Rhonda Cornwall, who is a life and grief coach and founder of Hope's Dwelling. Rhonda, pleasure to have you joining me. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Sabrina. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, it's a pleasure, and I'm excited to hear more about Hope's Dwelling. For those who may not have heard about it, like myself, I'm hoping that you can expound on it, and we intend to cover the history, why, the guiding principles of a life coach, and much more. So we want to encourage our viewing and listening audience to keep it locked right here on your number one station, Radio Cayman. Now, what is Hope's Dwelling?
So Hope's Dwelling is a life, grief, and crisis coaching business that I started in 2018. So we offer resources and tools for persons who are going through life's difficulties, especially grief as well. So we help to equip people to be able to face the challenges that life brings to them, and, you know, be able to overcome as well.
Now, give us some insight on your professional background and why you've decided to open Hope's Dwelling.
Yes. So my professional background began when I enrolled in a Master's of Arts for Professional Counseling. And it was during that training that I actually got my first training in grief counseling. Now, there's a funny story behind how I got the grief counseling experience there. It was towards the end of my studies, and I was kind of tired of writing research papers. So I was looking for a class that had the least amount of writing, and grief counseling was one of those. Wow. So fast forward to my internship for my degree, and I end up at a trauma hospital, actually the fourth largest hospital in Georgia, serving as a counselor and a chaplain. And of course, one of my experiences there, grief, you know, and supporting families, you know, going through grief and you know, a lot of other ailments, you know, medical emergencies and crises. So that's where I really got a lot of the grief and trauma and crisis training. And then fast forward to when I actually got my training in grief, got certified in grief coaching. It was 2 years. My father had passed away. And so I, you know, and actually before he passed away, he was diagnosed with cancer. And so it was during that time that I realized that I had the tools to support my family and support my father during that time. You know, all my learnings from my degree training and my internship, all that came into play. And so I was able to apply those. And then he passed 2 years ago. And it was at that time that I really realized how devastating grief can be. And so I then enrolled in a certification program because I wanted to know how to deal with my own grief. But I also wanted to know how I could help other people. So From Grief to Gratitude was a course that I enrolled in because I loved the idea of being able to be grateful for the experiences that I had. But I think the greatest training, Sabrina, that I have comes from the school of life. Being able to make it through, the experiences with my father, supporting him, supporting patients when I was working in an internship, all that taught me such valuable experiences and learnings that I'm able to apply when I'm helping my clients.
And I'm quite sure there's a lot of self-gratification when you can extend and apply what you've learned.
Yes, definitely. I mean, this is really the dream job for me. Being able to support people in this way, especially with grief coaching.
Yes.
That's an amazing accomplishment and, feeling for me.
Now, touch briefly on the main services being offered at Hope's Dwelling.
So Hope's Dwelling offers individual life crisis and grief coaching. We also do group programs as well. And we offer public and corporate presentations on grief. That is to get the conversation going about grief and why we need to talk about grief. And I've also started Relax and Rejuvenate events, which will happen quarterly as well.
Well, that leads straight into that because you just sparked my curiosity. I want to learn more about your Relax and Rejuvenate events. I believe there's one coming up.
Yes, actually, there's one in January. I just hosted my first the end of October, and it was a huge success. The ladies were all raving about how great it was and asking when is the next. But these events really came about because I observed the clients that I work with, and I work mostly with females. But I realized that, the women out there are really stressed.
Because we're taking on too much.
Exactly.
We're taking on everything.
Exactly, Sabrina. And the question is, how do you take care of yourself, right?
You're the last person that you think of.
Exactly. So these events were created to give ladies a night where they can have me time, right? Take care of me, learn. Plus, as a coach, I want to teach you tools to be able to help yourself. So these events teach you stress management techniques. You're able to, really engage in those activities. So, for instance, we had mini massages for the ladies.
Nice.
We had a table where it was about engagement. So there were questions that got the ladies to engage with one another, to make meaningful connections and be able to laugh.
Right.
Because, of course, laughter is a great way to relieve stress. There was a make your own sangria station.
Now you got me and Susan going.
And then, what was most popular of the evening? Adult coloring station. Yes, the ladies loved that. So there were, again, the goal was to help our ladies to relax and connect with each other. And these events, too, were created for my ladies that I deal with that are grieving as well. Because one of the things that I realize is that sometimes when we're grieving, we isolate ourselves because social settings become too uncomfortable because people ask questions that you don't want to answer. And so these events are created so that they're structured so that those awkward conversations don't happen. Yeah.
Now, we've been speaking a lot about grief and mourning, and we're talking about life coach and grief coaching. What is the difference between a life coach and grief coaching?
So a life coach really focuses on goals and dreams and things that people want to change or achieve. Whereas a grief coach works with individuals who have lost someone or something, because the important thing to state too is that, grief doesn't just result because of a death. We can grieve a job loss, something that's been significant to us that we no longer have access to. So grief results because of that. And grief coaching really deals with and teaches people how to deal with those emotions, gives them tools to equip them to be able to move forward in life.
That goes straight into me going to ask, what is the difference between grief and mourning.
Yes.
Because it is the loss of someone when you mourn.
Yes.
And the grief then is like the example you gave, a loss of a job or a situation. You may have gone through a huge divorce and ended up having to be a single parent home.
Yes.
That can cause grief.
Yeah.
Or just not being able to keep up with your bills.
Yes, definitely. Financial,
Grief.
If you're used to having a certain financial, stability, and that morning is, grief is internal. It's our feelings, it's our thoughts, it's our reaction to the loss. Whereas mourning is those external ceremonies, rituals. It's the signs that let people know that we've lost something. And it's what attracts people to come and comfort us.
Now, the holidays are right here.
Yes.
And I'm quite sure a lot of us are going to go through some holiday grief.
Yes.
How can we cope with that? I mean, you have to be realistic. You don't put your basket higher than your hand can reach. But people actually find themselves going through a lot of unnecessary stress because they're trying to keep up with the Jeffersons or trying to perceive something that is really and truly not.
Yes.
Any tips?
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that happens too, I think, is a lot of times we hide our feelings. We pretend that we don't feel this way, or we're trying to put up appearances, trying to protect other people that we feel that if we show our grief is going to, hurt them as well. But the one thing that I really like to encourage our listeners, if you go through, holiday grief and you know that this is something that happens when the holidays come, I have a lunch and learn that's actually happening in December, the 4th of December at Artnest Creative Studio. It's going to take place 12 to 1 p.m. Lunch is included as well. And it is at this event that I'm going to share coping skills on how to get through the holidays. Not just survive them, but how you can actually enjoy the holidays as well.
And what's the cost for that, and how does people get registered?
So the cost is $25, and it does include lunch. So we make it really easy for you to be able to come and just, use the most of your lunch hour. And to register for that, contact the Artnest, email them at events@artnestkman.com.
Okay. And what advice would you offer to persons who are grieving? Understanding this year we had a lot of loss. I mean, we just, last night our premier lost his dad. Oh, wow. But I mean, this is just far extending this year. There was one day, I think, in a week, we lost like 7 people, 3 or 4 alone in the BRAC.
Yes.
This is something. And the holidays are here. We tend to reminisce and go back to which loved ones are gone or are passed.
Yes, it's hard not to.
What advice would you offer for those persons who are grieving?
Well, first of all, the first step to being able to deal with your grief is to acknowledge it. You have to give yourself permission to grieve. We live in a society where it's grief avoidance, right? We don't talk about death, dying, or grief.
Right.
And so you're not going to get permission from people to grieve. You have to take that for yourself, and you have to know that what you're feeling is completely natural and normal, right? It's a reaction to the loss of love. And so give yourself permission to grieve. That's the first step to being able to deal with your grief.
Now, I believe there's a self-coaching exercise entitled 25 Powerful Questions to Identify Strengths Available Through Hope's Dwelling. I'll allow you to tell us more, but I heard a little voice in my ear that says we got to take a break because you know what? We got to pay some bills. And that would not be possible without the kind sponsorship of K-Man Medical Supplies, K-Man Insurance Center, and FSH Design. So I'll take your response to that question when we come back.
Marketing. It is the key that no business can live without. From social media to Google Ads, websites to app development, or even graphic design to video commercials, FSH Design is here to help you and your business succeed. We focus on personalized digital marketing and offer advertising consultations for each of our clients. Don't waste time. We want to help you reach your marketing goals today. We work directly with you and your business to generate a strategic marketing plan that will develop current and creative results. Check out our website at fshdesign.com.
Boy, it's that time again.
Wait, ain't you talking about Christmas come already?
No fooling, it's rundown time again.
Rundown again? Boy, last year I was popping up in that theater. Best believe I going.
Not without me.
Well, what we waiting on? Here we go.
K-Man, Rundown is here.
Don't miss Rundown, the hilarious annual comedy review, starting Thursday, November 14th at 8 p.m. at the Harkwell Theater. Tickets on sale now. Visit archkman.org or call 949-5477 for more information. Sponsored by Logic, Island Heritage, Big Fish, and Hurley's Media.
America's #1 acne brand Proactive is now in stock at Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor. Take care of your skin and stop chasing pimples with Proactive. Their combination therapy approach is a preventative strategy that gives you a complete multi-step skincare regimen and acne-fighting medicine. Proactive attacks acne at every stage of the cycle. Proactive is recommended by dermatologists for a reason. It works. Ask for Proactive at Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we keep the spotlight and hear more on Hope's Dwelling with Miss Rhonda Cornwall. Just before that break, I posed a question. There's a self-coaching exercise entitled 25 Powerful Questions to Identify Strengths Available Through Hope's Dwelling.
Yes.
I want you to tell us more about that, Ron.
Yes. So, Sabrina, one of the things that I like to do is be able to equip, my clients with the ability to self-coach, because, of course, that's a way of you being able to help yourself.
Yes.
And so these activities, this exercise is a way for our listeners to identify their top strengths. And, once you know what your strengths are, you can overcome any circumstances. That you have some powerful tools when you know what your strengths are. And these questions are going to help you identify what your top strengths are. So I encourage our listeners to email me so that they can get a copy of this, coachwithrhonda@gmail.com. And also, as a bonus, I'd like to give one of our listeners the opportunity to coach with me. So they're going to get a free coaching session. Just email me and tell me why you deserve or why you feel like you need, this coaching session. Because I really want to help people and put them on the path to success.
Excellent. And again, for the sake of those who may have heard that opportunity to win a free coaching session with you, repeat your email address for us.
It's coachwithrhonda@gmail.com.
Okay. We'll definitely repeat that at the bottom of this interview as well. Typically, how long is a life coaching session? And do you offer them one-on-one and also in group settings? I think you may have dabbled in this at the beginning.
Yes. So we do one-on-one individual coaching sessions, and those are usually 4 to 5 minutes. And yes, we do offer group coaching sessions. And in fact, one of the group programs that I want to launch next year is talking about broken relationships and the grief that results because of those, because we tend to not process the emotions and everything that has happened when a relationship ends, and then a lot of times we just move on, but we take all of that pain and emotions that of disappointment, everything, and loss into our new relationships. So this program is going to give the participants an opportunity to really look at what grief resulted because of that and what they can do about it.
Now, when people commit to one of your sessions or your coaching classes, whichever they so choose, do they need to commit to a number of sessions in order to see tangible results? How does that work?
Yeah, well, you don't have to commit to a certain set. I do recommend it. Of course, we know that research, shares with us that it takes at least 2 months for new behavior to be practiced on a regular basis. And so I usually encourage my clients to, sign up to do 3 months with me. And it also depends on what their goals are.
Yes.
My clients that come to me for grief coaching, a lot of times that relationship is a long-term relationship.
Okay.
Because of the nature of what we're dealing with. It doesn't happen overnight that you learn how to deal with your grief. And so I do encourage clients to, sign on for at least 3 months. But if they just wanted to come in and do one session with me, that is definitely something we can do.
Now, Rhonda, where is Hope's Dwelling?
So Hope's Dwelling, we're located at Pinnacle Warehouses, which is off of Godfrey Nixon Way. Warehouse number 6. But Sabrina, the one thing that I want to actually emphasize here and stress to our listeners, especially the persons who are interested in grief coaching, one of the things that I do is a personalized private service. So I actually go to my clients' homes because what I find is a lot of my grief clients, they're more comfortable in their home setting. So I will actually go to them so that they don't have to come out and seek me. And that has worked very successfully.
It would only make sense, to be honest, because when you're going through that loss or just going through grief, if it's mourning, grief, I'm quite sure you'll do that for both. Sometimes your own surroundings,
yes,
and just bringing that new energy, that new hope into that space will definitely help one to heal a bit faster.
Yes.
Now, have you noticed the demand for your services is more sought after by females more than males, or it's pretty much 50-50 on par? What have you noticed?
It's definitely more female. I think, we ladies tend to be a little bit more in touch with our emotions and our feelings, and we're quick to recognize, when something isn't right and when something's impacting us. I do have males that have reached out for, but it's mostly women who seek, the help.
Look, moving forward, what can persons expect from Hope's Dwelling in 2020?
Well, I definitely want to continue to create grief awareness because it's such an important topic that we need to talk about. We're not prepared for how to deal with loss. And so I want to open up that dialogue so that we can really talk and people can get the help that they need because, it's hard when you have to go through grief and you're told that it's something that you can't deal with.
Right.
And so I really want to continue that grief awareness. Expect, more of the R&R events, the Relax and Rejuvenate events. Also, I mentioned earlier about the group program where it's talking about broken relationships and the grief that results because of that, and then I have an idea that's brewing that came out of
share it just with me, girl. Just with me, our little secret.
Definitely. So coming out of the Relax and Rejuvenate event, I am thinking about doing a retreat in Cayman Brac.
Nice. Now you're talking my language. That's the place to be.
Yes, I love Cayman Brac. In fact, my family and I went there for Easter, and this is where this idea started to brew because, I just think it's the perfect setting to relax and really rejuvenate. And so, that's on the books to come.
Definitely. And I'm quite sure persons who are following you on Instagram and Facebook will be able to follow this as it comes together, correct?
Yes, exactly. And you can find me, on Facebook and Instagram is Hope's Dwelling as well. Facebook is Coaching with Rhonda. But if you put in Hope's Dwelling, you'll find me. The other thing that I'm excited to share, Sabrina, and this just happened actually yesterday. My website, hopesdwelling.com, just went live.
Excellent.
So, I'm really happy about that.
Now, how do you actually, you pretty much self-heal because of your training and what you've been taught. But how do you deal with you?
Yes.
Many times we look at you as a facilitator, as this power of strength. People go to you and we offload. how do you block those energies in order to be almost like, I'm bulletproof to this, I'm here to help you, and not take it home with you?
Yes. Well, one of the things I learned early, and actually I learned when I was at my internship doing, dealing with other people's pain and stuff, I learned not to take it personal in the sense that, once we start personalizing this, this could have been my loved one, or this circumstance could be something that's similar to I went through. You lose yourself in that. And of course, I'm there to support my clients. So I'm fully engaged in their story. But the other thing that I do to really help myself is self-care. I journal. I do a lot of the things that I tell my clients to do. I take walks on the beach. Whenever I'm having a difficult time, I find some way of being able to release that, and the other thing that's so helpful to me is sharing my experiences with my listeners, my audience. So a lot of times if you go on my Facebook, if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see that I post about the moments when I'm having a difficult time, or my grief is really impacting my life, and I use it as an opportunity to say, this is how I dealt with it as well. But it's a way of being transparent with the people that I'm serving.
Rhonda, you think the power of social media has had a lot to do with additional grief that we've taken on, trying to live a life through social media and trying to cope with reality?
Well, I definitely think that social media, in a sense, puts a barrier to those grieving, and because it's all about posting the good things, right? And life is perfect and everything like that. And for some people, their life is not that great and they're going through difficult times, but yet they're being put on a front, so that they appear to be. And that's one of the reasons why I am transparent on my social media, is because I want people to be able to start doing that, to be able to be real and to say, this is who I am and this is what I'm going through. And, I want to address something too, Sabrina, because, we tend to think that persons who express emotions are weak. And I see it completely opposite to that. I believe that those who have the courage to say, I'm not well, those who seek me out for help, are those who are courageous and brave souls, because they're living real. They're going to deal with the pain that they're feeling.
What would you say to some of those persons who may have this conception that confidentiality is the key? I may know her or someone related to her, and going to her and just pretty much spilling my guts, opening up completely. Aside from what you can bring for them, the good, what would you say to those skeptics who are like, Cayman's too small, I don't think that would be the forum for me?
Yeah. Well, the important thing to know too is coaching, one of the strong ethics that, we're taught as well is confidentiality and the importance of that. And I've always been an individual that believed in that, even before I was trained. I remember as a young teenager, my first job, I had these adult ladies coming to me sharing some of their deepest problems, and I couldn't understand why. But even at that age, I felt that they knew that they could trust me, and their story never got out. It stayed with me because I believe that it's a sacred thing. If somebody, gives you that opportunity to step into their lives in that way, you have to honor that, and you have to keep confidence. So I can assure listeners that, when you coach with me, it stays with me. I put strict boundaries around how and what I say, about clients. In fact, I have the conversation with clients, if you see me in a public setting, how do you want me to address it? Do you want me to address you at all?
Right.
Because I value, their confidentiality and their privacy.
Well, Rhonda, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. And just listening and hearing the passion in your voice, I know you love what you do, and you're an asset to anyone who seeks your service. For the sake of the listening audience, again, can you repeat your contact details and what's the best way you'd prefer persons to reach out to you?
Sure. Well, you can visit my website page so that you can get more information about what I do in the services, and that's hopesdwelling.com. You can email me, coachwithrhonda@gmail.com, or you could telephone me 925-0513.
Rhonda, it has been a pleasure again, and I hope that from this, by ways of this medium, that you'll definitely get an increase in persons interested in your services that you offer. All the best to you.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thanks for having me on.
It is our pleasure. Now, the Business Buzz is brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 until approximately 9. And again, it would not be possible without the kind sponsorships of Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center, along with FSH Design. We want to thank our producer, Susan, who's also manning the boards this morning, and to you, our loyal listeners. Until Thursday, have a safe and fabulous Tuesday.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.